Dear students, in our today's lecture, we will consider formative assessment as a part of daily teaching. Formative assessment as a part of daily teaching consists of learning objectives. Those are skills and abilities. It informs about planning, deciding, decision makings, planning of the learning and teaching activities, and of course it answers the questions: did the student or a learner achieve his result?
We should keep in mind that formative assessment is not a separate event or formal test. It is an integral part of the daily teaching and learning process. It happens continuously in every lesson and serves as a bridge between teaching and learning. This diagram illustrates how formative assessment naturally fits into everyday classroom practice through 6 interconnected components. At the center of the scheme, we see formative assessment in daily teaching, which emphasizes that assessment should not only occur at the end of learning, but should guide instructions throughout. The goal is to help teachers and students make ongoing adjustments that lead to better understanding and stronger performance. The first component is lesson planning. Effective formative assessment begins even before the lesson starts. When planning, teachers define clear learning objectives, success criteria, and methods to check understanding during the lesson. These plans ensure that teaching and assessment are aligned. Every activity serves as a specific learning purpose. The second component is observation and questioning. During the lesson, teachers actively observe students' participations, behavior, and responses. Questioning is a key strategy here. Asking open-ended questions helps teachers to understand, identify misconceptions, and promote critical thinking. Through observation, teachers can see who is struggling and who is ready to move forward. Next, we have immediate feedback. Feedback is at the heart of formative assessment. It provides students with real-time guidance about their performance. When teachers give timely and specific feedback, students understand what they did well and what needs improvement. This immediate response helps them correct mistakes early and deepen their understanding. The first component is student self-assessment. Daily formative assessment helps students to get specific feedback. Not only from teacher, but to evaluate themselves. So students become more independent and take responsibility for their learning. This reflection develops self-regulation and motivation.
So a criteria-based assessment model compares learners' achievements with clearly defined, collectively developed criteria which are known to all participants, including the student, parents, and educators. And we have to mention that all these criteria should be known to students beforehand, in advance. Criteria-based assessment is a barrier to learners that the traditional methods applied in Kazakhstan. Overview of the criteria-based assessment model. As we have mentioned before in our previous lectures, criteria-based assessment includes 2 models: formative assessment and summative assessment. Type of assessment which is carried out after completion of a certain academic period, term, trimester, academic year, level of comprehensive education, as well as across units, cross-cultural topics, or subject programs with scoring and grading. So, criteria-based assessment includes formative assessment and summative assessment, and summative assessment has sub-units, such as summative assessment across a unit, cross-curricular topic, summative assessment for a term, and summative assessment for a level of education. So formative assessment is carried out continuously by a teacher, provides feedback between a learner and the teacher, and allows to adjust the educational process in timely manner without any scoring and grading. Summative assessment is carried out after completion of certain academic period, as well as across unit, cross-curricular topics of subjects program with scoring and grading. So summative assessment across unit and cross-curricular topics, those are some series to establish assessment procedures over the period of a term, deciding on the achievement of learning objectives across unit of the subject problem, and teaching and recording the results during grading for a term. Summative assessment for a term, the final assessment procedure which is carried out after completion of each term, deciding on achievement of learning objectives of the subject program for a term. And of course, it is tracing and recording the sum of points for all terms, the result during the grading for an academic year. Summative assessment for a level of education, the final assessment procedure which is carried out at the end of the lower and upper secondary schools, deciding on achievements of learning objectives of the subject program based on the expected outcomes in the subject field and area. Independent assessment. Thank you very much for your attention. Please.